Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Pink Wednesdays podcast, where every Wednesday we wear pink and catch up about our daily lives and recent news with my wonderful co-host, Fazana.
Hi.
And a special guest today.
Although she's not behaving very well, Lola, make your guest appearance.
Beverly!
I think at the moment, although these two are cousins and know each other well, I think they're still establishing their space and territory, but they'll calm down. They'll calm down. So, Julia, I watched and loved the episode last week with Eileen.
Oh, thank you. We missed you, though. Well, welcome back, by the way.
Thank you. I really enjoyed watching it, and it was so lovely to see you two getting on so well. You know, in the first episode, we were talking about blended families, and that's the proof of a blended family.
For sure, yeah. And it was so much fun, although it would have been even better if it was the three of us together.
Yeah, it's true.
But I was so happy that people had a really positive reaction to it, because I was a little bit worried that people would be like, oh no, you shouldn't be friends, because people used to say that a lot before.
Yes.
But this time people were actually really welcoming and really lovely to Eileen, which made me so happy. And she was so happy about it too.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was very positive.
So that really made me happy to see that. And obviously, you're both parents to the lovely Beverly and Brittany. But poor Beverly's not been very well.
Oh no, oh my God. It was quite stressful because I was away Saturday and Sunday. We went to a wedding fair.
Where was the wedding fair?
In Yorkshire.
Right.
Because we're getting married in Yorkshire, so we want to find all the suppliers.
The local, yeah.
Yeah, because we don't want to be carrying flowers all the way and cakes all the way from London. So that's why we went. And Beverly was fine before. She just had a little bit of a soft poop, but I thought, that happens to humans too.
Yeah,
sometimes
yes.
you might have a soft poop.
That's probably too much information. Anyway.
Sorry, everybody. But she was acting fine. Everything was normal. So.
And Eileen was looking after her.
Yeah, so I took her to Eileen's because Eileen, as you know, we co-parent. Yeah. I spend, I would say, about 80% of the time with Beverly. But if I'm traveling or if I'm going to spend a whole day somewhere and instead of leaving Beverly on her own, take her to Eileen because she loves Eileen.
It's her other mummy.
Yeah, exactly. It's so much better than taking her to a doggy daycare or something.
Definitely.
So I took her to Eileen's, and then next thing I know, Eileen's sending me pictures of her poo.
Oh. Not that that's funny that she was sending, but
I'm just trying to avoid talking about gross things on the podcast. But her poo had some blood on it.
Oh, that's horrible.
So, so I was terrified. I told Eileen to take Beverly to the vet straight away. Organized everything from a distance. Yeah. Because usually she goes to the vet that is near here. Yeah. But I wasn't gonna make Eileen come all the way here because it's a bit far. So. Got in touch with the other vet and everything, and then they said that it was probably an intestine infection.
Oh, poor thing.
Oh no, look at her. And so they put her on antibiotics for a few days. But her demeanor was like completely normal. She wasn't like subdued or anything.
Yes, and that always makes you feel better. Yeah. I find, with my dogs.
Eileen was struggling a little bit with giving Beverly medication because one of them was something that you had to put like straight into her mouth. Yes. And Beverly can get a bit growly. So I came back a little sooner. Yes. So I could go get her
help
and
administer
the medication. But now her poo is completely back to normal.
Oh, that's so good. No, that's just a person, Lola. Good girl.
Yeah, she's completely back to normal. I'm still giving her the antibiotics because you can't just stop. You
have to finish the course.
Finish the course, yes. But she's good, aren't you?
Tell me about the wedding fair. How was that?
Oh, it was so nice. It's so fun. But I realized that people usually start planning their weddings like 2 years before.
Some people do, yeah.
Yeah, and I forgot about that. I should know I got married before, but I had even less time to plan it last time I got married. But every single supplier that we started talking to, they thought it was September next year.
Really?
Yeah. They were like, oh, you don't have a lot of time left. Oh, really? I don't know, but I feel like there are things in life that are so much harder to organize. Like, I don't know, I do music videos. Yeah. And there's a quicker turnaround, and I would say just as much work as organizing a wedding.
So what did you go there to look at? Was it just to get some ideas and look at flowers, food, or...
I hadn't seen the venue in person yet.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, that's quite important.
Yeah. Keith knew it because he's been to a wedding there like 20 years ago, so he didn't remember that well. He just remembered it was nice.
Yeah.
And obviously we looked at the photos and it was nice. But we wanted to actually see it and like plan what's going to happen where, because we're going to use a few different parts of the castle. So we did that, and we had to meet with, like, they have a wedding planner just for the venue. You know, we didn't hire a separate wedding planner. It's just
that's all you need, because she can coordinate. That's her job, to coordinate the flowers, the caterers, you know, everything. So you don't need a separate one on top of that.
Yeah. So,
and you're good at organising anyway.
Yeah. So. And Keith is great. Oh my God, he's been so hands-on with it.
Really? Oh, I was going to ask you about that.
A lot more than me, actually. People don't know about him, but he's really good with, like, decoration and fashion and, like, visual things like that.
Is he? That's lucky. Because most men, when they get married, it's usually a case of, tell me what time I need to be there, and I'll find a suit and I'll turn up, and that's usually their involvement.
He's not like that at all. He's so involved. He's been really sweet.
And it's quite nice that you're doing it so closely together, and you went to the wedding fair together.
And we also went to visit some of his family members, because a lot of them still live up there in Yorkshire. That's why we're getting married in Yorkshire in the first place. So we did the rounds, went to a few different people's houses.
That you hadn't met before, or most of them you had?
I've met most of the closer family, like his siblings and stuff, but we saw some, like, aunties and cousins this weekend that I hadn't met before.
And are they all coming to the wedding?
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
That was quite nice. Everybody's so friendly up north.
They're much more friendly than they are in London.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you've seen that thing on Instagram where it's like a jokey skit, but I must send it to you, where it's like a bulletin, and it's a newsreader saying, a man from the north has arrived in London, and he's been terrifying Londoners by saying hello.
I've seen that.
It is so funny.
And it's so true.
It's so true.
So funny. Yeah, everybody's extra friendly there. I love him.
So, no, I'm glad you like it in Yorkshire. It is a beautiful place, and, like the Yorkshire Dales is such beautiful countryside.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Yeah, I love Yorkshire.
Yes.
It's really beautiful.
Tell me about the castle then. Was it how you'd pictured it?
Oh, even better. It's so pretty.
Has it got really nice outdoor? Has it got nice grounds? And,
it has nice grounds. We're going to get married in...
Lola, stop that. Oh, it's just a dog. Lola, stop that. This will be Lola's one and only star appearance.
I think we probably mentioned it before, but Fazana has two gorgeous, gorgeous dogs, Dylan and Lola. This one is Lola, and Dylan looks very, very similar to her.
Yeah, they're full brother and sister. He's just a year or so older, and he's much better behaved, so he can come next time. Lola is probably never going to be invited back by Julia and Beverly, and I'm not surprised.
No, she's always invited. Oh, she's so sweet.
She is very cute, but she is a very naughty girl.
I don't blame her. There's a massive window and she can see all the cars and dogs going by, and
people. It's a new.
Any dog would be barking.
So you're saying the castle's got lovely grounds.
So the ceremony is gonna be on the outside, in the gardens, and then we'll go into the castle for the reception.
Such a beautiful idea.
Yeah. So we were thinking, trying to visualize the decorations for the outside, like flowers and things. I'm trying to keep it, like, simple, but Keith is like, no, but we need this, we need that. And I'm the one saying, no, don't worry about it, it's okay.
And, actually, I think that is so nice that he is so enthusiastic about it.
It's lovely, isn't it? It's really
because
sweet.
Because most men are not... I mean, that's a huge generalisation, but often it's, it's the female that ends up doing most of the planning.
It's quite... not like a typical man like that.
But I think it's because he's creative as well.
Yeah.
He's such a talented musician. So I think that it's just his creative and artistic nature.
And I think that's why it works, because
you're the same.
I couldn't be with someone that was like, laddish. And
Yes.
like,
And I'm so impressed with all the instruments he can play. And, in your living room, I mean, an orchestra could come and play in there.
Bless him. Yeah, he's looking forward to being able to retire so he can actually make more music.
So what else did you see at the wedding fair?
Oh, you know what we did? We booked a dog-friendly room so Beverly
Yes.
can come to the
Yeah.
wedding.
Oh, is she going to be a bridesmaid?
I want her to be the ring bearer.
Yes.
I was actually thinking of making a fully like dog-friendly wedding, and then you could bring your dogs too. But then I started thinking like, what if everybody starts barking during the ceremony?
And they will. And they will.
Beverly Barkerly will definitely.
Barker. My advice would be, well, even if you invited Dylan and Lola, I'd leave them at home, because I think that when they see a lot of other dogs, they get very, very excited.
Yeah.
Also, you don't want a whole load of dog mess in the venue.
That's true.
So I personally, even though I think it's a lovely idea, and we love to take our dogs everywhere, like on holiday and stuff, I think it might be easiest to just leave it to inviting Beverly, as it's her parents' wedding. And she will make the cutest ring bearer.
Oh, I know.
She could have a matching little outfit to your dress.
Yeah, I want to do that. Oh my God, you're gonna think I'm crazy, but I started making my own dress.
Have you?
Well, making is a strong word. I mean, I'm not like sewing because I can't sew, but I can hot glue.
What are you doing?
I can hot glue things together.
What? So this is going to be like all glued together, is it? A few scraps of material glued together.
So
no,
I'm
joking.
I got base.
Right.
I can't describe it because Keith will watch the podcast
Yes.
and he can't know.
Yeah.
But I got like a base, a few different things that together become a base, I would say. And then I'm customizing it, but like to the extreme, to the point it will be completely unrecognizable when I'm done with it.
And you are very artistic, and I've seen some of the outfits you put together, for your videos and when you've done your gigs, and you are very creative. So I'm sure it's going to look great. And you've given yourself plenty of time. We're only in February.
Yeah.
And
it's going to take a while because. But maybe
is there a lot of stuff to glue then?
Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't tell people, because then if they see and they don't know there's been glued, they'll be like, wow, it's amazing. And then if they know, they'll be like, oh, I can tell. But I like making things like that. Usually for music videos, quite often I transform things like that.
There are probably not that many brides who have made their own dress.
Yeah.
I'm sure if I said to Steve when we were getting married, I'm going to make my own dress, I probably wouldn't be married now. But you are very creative, so you can put, I'm sure, it's, and actually, you've still got enough time that if you thought,
if it goes wrong, could always, I have those spare dresses there.
Yes, yes, that plethora of spare wedding dresses hanging in your wardrobe that everyone has. And did you get to eat any cakes or anything? Oh, no, it wasn't. No.
Oh, gosh. I accidentally ate a cake that I didn't mean to.
As one does.
I am trying to slowly go vegan.
Yeah.
But I'm failing. I've been a vegetarian for, 16 years now, which is crazy because it feels like it was yesterday.
Yes.
I remember so clearly telling people, I've been a vegetarian for a week. And then
now it's 16
laughing,
years.
saying, it's never going to last.
Yeah.
Because
But
I used to love meat.
Yes.
I like the taste of it. It's just that I feel bad for the animals. Like I can't enjoy it anymore without thinking about it. Yeah. So I've been a vegetarian for this long. But then a little while back, I decided to start eating fish, which I hadn't done for this whole time, because that's when you are like a vegetarian that eats fish, that's actually called pescatarian.
Yes.
So I tried that for a bit because I was trying to like get more protein, and it didn't last very long because I started feeling really guilty about it. I think it was when I went to Korea. I saw at the markets they had fish like live. I didn't eat fish there because I thought it was like I actually saw them. So
yes, you thought but that's their cousin or aunt.
Yeah, but they were like at the markets they have live fish that you can choose, and they will cook the fish that you chose. But doesn't look like they are kept in good conditions.
Yes.
They look almost like they're piled up, but like
also,
still alive.
I don't think I'd want to choose a fish swimming around
Yeah.
and then think I'm going to be eating that.
Yeah, so I didn't eat it when I was there, but I had eaten like a bit before, and it like kind of brought it home to me because I actually saw them, and oh my God, I get emotional just talking about it. I know most people don't cry about fish, but
But it shows what you are, such an animal lover, and you care about, animals so much that even fish can, make you emotional.
So I felt really guilty and I stopped eating fish. But then because of the whole fish thing, I started following like vegetarian and vegan pages on Instagram again.
Yes.
Which I hadn't done in a really long time, because when I first became a vegetarian, I did all the research and everything at the time. But then I didn't carry on following it or doing any activism. I kind of chilled down a bit. Because when I first started, I was 14, so I was very passionate about it, and I would like try to convince people to go vegetarian, and I soon realized that that's not the way to do it, because it just annoys everybody.
Yes, you can't convert people. They've got to do it as...
I really think it's like each to their own.
Yes.
Do whatever feels right to you. So I didn't follow like the activism pages or anything like that, but because of the fish stuff, I started following some. And then I started seeing a lot of things about like the dairy industry. And oh my god, and I'm not gonna mention anything because I don't want it to get dark or anything, but they do some horrible things.
Yes.
So I was like, oh gosh, I'm gonna try to give up like dairy and eggs, because they do some horrible things to the chickens too. Obviously it's different if you went to somebody's like little farm and they just had chickens and you had
free range, and then they're really well looked after.
But those like big companies that just treat them like objects and like really do such inhumane things that I'm not gonna mention, because I don't wanna go there. It's
horrible,
gruesome and horrible. But I was like, gosh, I'm gonna try to go vegan. So I've been trying, but I've had some slip-ups, mostly because I've just been like vegetarian for so many years that I forget. So like the other day we went out and I was having some ice cream, just spontaneously, just an ice cream cone, and then when I was almost done with it, I was like, oh no.
I remember once you came round for dinner at our house. You were saying, oh, I'm a vegan, so we served you vegan food. And then the only thing that took you off course was when I offered you a Magnum ice cream. Lola.
Yeah, so at the wedding fair, I had some non-vegan cake because I forgot about it. They were just, giving us testers, and I ate it. And I was like, oh, delicious, amazing. And then I was like, oh, oops,
it's not vegan.
So I'm not calling myself a vegan because I'm not 100% yet.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to a wedding in about at the end of March, and the couple getting married are both vegans. So it's my first time going to a wedding where all the food for all the guests is vegan.
Well, actually, my previous wedding that you've been to was vegan.
Was it vegan? Was it?
I just didn't tell anybody.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because I thought, if you tell people will be put off.
Yes.
But usually there are things that you would eat anyway, like pasta or, like risotto.
That is so... Because I saw something recently, a video where this bride she was at her own wedding and it was vegan food, and she was saying how upset she was because a whole load of people had ordered pizza.
Oh, no.
But your wedding's not going to be a vegan, is it? Or
oh, if I had my way, it would be. But Keith doesn't want it to be vegan, so I think we'll.
Well, he wants his Yorkshire family to come, and in Yorkshire they probably eat quite a lot of meat.
So we'll have options for both.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah. How did we even get on that subject? Oh, because of the cake. Speaking of fish making you cry, have you seen any of the memes about I don't know if you can even call it meme, but have you seen all the commotion about the anglerfish?
No, I haven't. Tell me.
So I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. I think so. But basically, an anglerfish is the fish that lives like in the deep oceans, and it has like a light coming out of his forehead. Have you ever seen pictures of that? It's like a really usually scary
Are you sure you're not
looking
making this up? This is not AI that you saw.
No. Hold on, let me show you pictures. Right, so this is what an anglerfish looks like.
Right.
So you know how like in the deep sea, there are lots of creatures that we don't know much about because can't usually get that far and they don't usually come up. So there was this anglerfish. Everybody's calling her she. I don't know if it was a female fish or not, but apparently as she was about to die, she came up to the surface to look at the sun. and somehow somebody took a video of that.
Yeah.
And she was, although she looked like that one that was showing you, she was only like this big.
Yeah.
And everybody's been crying about it and drawing this fish and saying, oh my God, she just wanted to see the sun one last time. It's heartbreaking. But then I was looking at the comments, and there was this biologist who said, well, she didn't actually want to look at the sun. She was just dying, so she lost control of her bodily functions and just
rose to the top.
And everybody was like, don't ruin the story. Yeah. But I think it just goes to show how people can have empathy for like a little creature like that. I think it says more about like humanity than about this, whether the story is true or not, because how did anybody know if the fish wanted to look at the sun or not?
Well, I think probably two things for me. Firstly, I saw something recently, only the last month, where they've done a study which showed that people have more empathy for a dog than they do for a human. And they said it was because when we see a dog, we think they're vulnerable. And therefore we think we feel, I suppose we feel sorry for them. We want them to be taken care of, but we want that more for them than we want for another human being, because we don't see a human being as vulnerable. Because probably we think, unless they're a child, you think they can take care of themselves, where a dog really can't take care of itself. Yeah. But I thought that was so interesting to me, that even if you're not a dog lover, it's just empathy for animals.
Yeah.
And then the second thing I was thinking was people want feel-good story, and like you said, the scientist came out and said no, that's not true. He probably should have kept quiet about that. No, so I hadn't seen that. Has that gone viral then?
Yeah, let me show you. See if I can find the original one. Because people have done so many things with it since.
Oh.
It's really cute.
I think I prefer the story without the scientist saying that she couldn't help us.
Yeah, oh my God, it makes me cry. It's so sweet.
And actually, it reminds me of all those Instagram posts where people say, I care for about 4 people in my life and about 600 dogs on the internet that I've never met.
Yeah, oh my God. Yeah, I follow so many dogs and animals.
In fact, my feed is mainly dogs. Yeah. That must be, my life must just all be about my dogs then. Because that is mainly my feed. Do you find that there's a lot of dogs?
and that's how I like it. I don't want bad news.
You don't want all humans to come into it. Just let the animals.
Where's Lola?
I think she's under the sofa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's just sleeping, so that's good. She's behaving herself.
Yeah, everybody calm down. It's always like that, isn't it? After half an hour or so.
And I think if she came up here now, I think probably Beverly, they're both
growl. Yeah,
but she's fine there.
People probably don't know, but I took Beverly to Fazana's house many times, and Beverly always causes a commotion. I'm sorry, and barking at the dogs and running around. Don't you, Beverly? So today is Lola's time, but Lola has been a lot more well-behaved.
But do you remember the first time that you brought Beverly round to meet Dylan, my older dog, who he's about only a few months older than Beverly.
Yeah.
And you're in my garden with Eileen and Beverly, and Beverly was wearing this beautiful dress you'd put on her. And I came down carrying Dylan, who looks just like a little teddy bear. You and Eileen both went, ah, and Beverly got really jealous and ripped off her dress. Do you remember? And they started barking, and poor Dylan, who was only like this big, a complete teddy bear. But anyway, so she knows them well. She's met both of them so many times. But their dogs are territorial,
and she's very protective of me, like. Whenever she's on my lap and anybody tries to touch her, she growls.
And actually, I also know that never ever to stroke Beverly if she's on your lap, because you should do a little nip.
Yeah, and it's funny because she loves people whenever she's on the floor or just not on my lap.
Yeah.
She's so sweet to everybody, but... Yeah.
Oh, she is such a lovely girl, and she's very loving and kind.
She's my baby.
Dylan and Lola can be like that, when she comes round. It is a commotion for the first 20 minutes or so. Yeah. Lots of growling, lots of barking, and then everybody settles down.
Oh my God, speaking of growling and being rude, I did something so bad this morning. I flipped somebody off.
No, you, Julia.
Me. I think the only other time I did that before in my life was probably when I was 13 and like some gross, like fully grown men were catcalling me back in Brazil.
Yeah.
So, but I hadn't done that since. But this morning, it was my first time leaving Beverly on her own since she, had her little poop problems.
Yeah.
So I was, I was already a bit nervous because of that. And I just went to the supermarket for 20 minutes to get a few things. And on my way to the supermarket, there was like so much traffic, even though it's not far, but I think it was the time of the morning, people were going to work and stuff. And it was a bit of a stressful drive. But I was just turning onto a road, and I think I took maybe a second too long to turn because I was just checking if anybody was coming. But I suppose I'm slightly slower than most drivers because I just got my license.
Yeah.
And the asshole behind me started beeping me like there was no tomorrow. So when he went past me,
Did you?
I did. So I felt so rebellious.
Did he see you do it?
He did.
And what did he do?
He didn't do anything, just drove off. I think he was a bit surprised.
People who are quite calm outside of a car, and I'm not one of them, so I'm someone who's quite fiery outside of a car. Inside of a car, I'm a very, very calm driver. So if someone wants to pull in, I'll let them, but blah, blah, blah. Steve, who's the opposite, he's the calmest person you've ever met. Till he gets in a car, and he's a different person. And he, even when I'm driving, he'll say, "Don't let him in, don't let her in." Whereas I let everybody in, because what does it matter? It's like 2 seconds. But I hope you are not going to be one of those.
Well, if I'm driving on my own, I'm usually calm, apart from today.
Yeah.
But Keith, oh my God, he's so calm in real life.
Yeah.
When he gets in the car, he turns into a gremlin.
And these calm, quiet people, of which I'm not one, but who would never dream of flipping somebody off or, whatever, outside of a car. Because the only time I've ever seen Steve get really angry with somebody else other than me, which is fine because, we're married, but outside of, being annoyed with me, is when he's in a car with other drivers that he doesn't know, he's never going to see again, but he will get completely mad. What I'm wondering is, like, you're a very calm person generally outside of a car. I wonder if you are going to be one of these, because
Maybe.
I don't think in 30 years of driving or whatever, I don't think I've ever flipped anybody off.
Never.
No, I don't think so.
Oh my God. Maybe I am then, because I have been driving for a while. 2 months. And I've already flipped somebody off.
Your driving career of 2 months.
Gosh, and the only time me and Keith ever argue
is in the car.
It's driving related.
Yes.
Yeah.
What, when you're driving or he's driving?
When I'm driving, because he can't just mind his business.
Does he say, get in this lane, get in that lane?
Oh, and it makes me so angry. Maybe I'm the problem.
Well, no. I think Keith sounds a bit like Steve. Very calm guys, except when they're in a car. So Steve is a very nervous passenger.
Yeah.
And it sounds like Keith is probably a nervous passenger.
And when I was taking lessons and everything, Keith helped me a lot, and he gave me some lessons himself.
Wow, that's brave, because you passed your test and I'm still not ready to get in a car with you.
Which, I mean, it was great, and, I'm really grateful for it and everything. He helped a lot. But I think he got used to telling me what to do in the car because of that.
Yeah.
But now that I've passed my test, he keeps telling me what to do.
But Julia, I wonder if that is these calm, quiet men outside of the car who become gremlins inside the car. Because I've been driving for decades, and Steve will still say, get in this lane, get in that lane. And I'm used to it now. So
and does it not make your blood boil?
No, because I want to stay calm in the car. No, I'll just think, I'll do it. I don't like it, and I think, you know what? I was driving for decades before I met you, so I can drive. But I realise that he's a nervous passenger, so I'll do it to make him feel better.
Yeah.
But when he's driving, sometimes I'll think, if I were you, I'd get in this lane, but I don't say it.
Yeah, I never say anything. But maybe I'm a gremlin too, because it does make my blood boil. And he's like, no, go there. And let me drive in peace.
I think he thinks he's being helpful, but I'm just concerned that
he's probably right about the things he's saying, because he's been driving obviously for decades, and I've just got my test. But I mean, yeah, it just annoys me, but maybe I'm the problem.
I don't think you're the problem, but I think you and Keith, who it sounds like
we're two gremlins.
Two gremlins in a car. We are one gremlin and one calm person in the car. I think you two are going to have some more issues.
Yeah.
But being in a car with somebody, I mean, we're about to go off. We're 12 hours in a car driving to Switzerland.
Wow, that's a long drive. It must be quite fun. So what are your plans for skiing? For the people that haven't watched the previous episodes, Fazana goes skiing in Switzerland quite often. And you're about to drive there, right? How long are you going for?
This time we're going for about 11 days.
Nice.
When we go to Switzerland, we always take our dogs, so we drive there, and
so
and
sweet.
We've got quite a lot of friends coming out, and the dogs love the snow.
So we'll be away more or less at the same time, but I'm going somewhere completely different, couldn't be more different from Switzerland. I'm going to Brazil for Carnival, of all things.
Wow, the Carnival, but in São Paulo.
Yeah, so usually, I didn't even know that until recently, but apparently everybody outside of Brazil just calls it the Rio Carnival.
Yeah.
And think it's just in Rio, but
Yes.
it's the whole country.
That is having, yeah.
Yeah, and there are different styles, like different regions do it slightly differently, but the one in São Paulo is pretty much the same as Rio.
Right.
The same like style of carnival. The only difference is that it's not by the beach. But my mom is there, so I'd rather be in São Paulo because
so
my mom.
Are you going to be wearing something, like a bejeweled bikini?
So I'm making my costumes. Making again is a strong word. I'm rhinestoning some bikinis. And that's what we were talking about the other day, about being an immigrant and how you feel foreign in both countries. Because obviously I'm foreign here and I have an accent and everything, and I was born in Brazil. But there are so many things about Brazil that I don't know, because I was only 18 when I moved here. So I've only ever been a kid there.
Yeah.
And so I've never actually been to Carnival properly. It's funny because when you live somewhere, sometimes you don't think of doing things like that. So in Brazil, Carnival is a national holiday.
Yeah.
So everybody, is off work. But quite often then people take the opportunity, because quite a few days, it's 3 days, but then, it's... You get the weekend with it, and then some companies do the whole week, so you get quite a few days off work. So a lot of people...
I actually hadn't realised that it's what a fantastic idea, and every country should do. Can we do this in England?
I know, right?
So it's a national holiday, and it's the Carnival holiday.
Yeah. So a lot of people just go on vacation for it instead of actually going
to the carnival. Yeah.
So I would say most people just go on vacation. So I would go to the countryside to visit my auntie and do things like that for Carnival when I was a kid.
And was it because your mum wasn't interested in going to Carnival?
Yeah, she's more of a quiet person. Although she's coming with me this year. Yeah, I used to do more chill things.
Yeah.
I would watch it on TV. But, but never actually being to either the street parties or to the main parade. I haven't been.
Is it over a weekend?
So it's the weekend and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Right.
But then some people take off the Thursday and Friday too.
Yeah.
So then it becomes this big
week.
Thing. But the biggest thing is the beginning of the week and the weekend before that. We're going to the main parade thing, which is an event that you buy tickets to, which is what you would probably think of Carnival, people with the big feathers and sort of naked.
That's the main parade.
That's the main parade. But then there are also all the street parties, which are, I would imagine, it's a little bit similar to gay pride, music and people partying outside. And that's the bit that I didn't know. I thought it was the same kind of outfits, more feathery things. But it's not. It's more festival outfits, if you were going to Coachella or something like that. So it's that vibe.
Yeah.
So I was asking my friend.
So what are you going to wear then?
Oh, so I got a few different colored swimsuits and bikinis, and I'm gonna bedazzle them in different ways.
For the carnival.
For the
Coachella bit, the festival bit.
The festival bit, yeah.
Yeah.
The street parties. For the carnival itself, unless you're part of the parade, you don't wear
just
costume.
An observer.
You're just watching it, so you could wear jeans and a t-shirt, I suppose.
and does it look weird if you're completely in feathers and
Probably.
and standing at the side?
Probably, but that's what I thought it was gonna be. So I have a friend who's like a childhood friend. They always go. So I was asking her all the details, and she was explaining how everything works. And I'm like, oh my god, like how comes I don't know all these things? I'm from this country.
You probably lived. No, you haven't lived more years here. But you know,
Almost, yeah.
but there was going to be a time soon where you would have been away from Brazil more than you.
Yeah.
You know, you spent there.
If someone asked me about like childhood things and like children's books or things like that, I would probably know more Brazilian things.
Yes.
But anything like adult related,
it's all UK.
Yeah, like I never had a bank account in Brazil, and I have no idea how anything bureaucratic works or how to get anywhere or like names of roads and places. It's so strange.
Did you still have a Brazilian passport?
I still do. I have 3 passports.
Do you? Wow.
Yeah. I have one Brazilian one because I was born there. I have a Portuguese one because my dad's side of the family was Portuguese. So that's how I moved to the UK in the first place, because we were still EU when I moved here. So, and I have the British one because I've been here so long.
Actually, that is very blessed. You've got so many options.
Yeah, and I chose the UK in the end.
But does it feel like home now, though?
It does, yeah. Obviously, I'm not from here. You know, as soon as I start talking, people ask me where I'm from. So.
Mind you, with you, when you start talking, they ask you where you're from. For me, it's when people see me, they will think, where are you from?
Do people ask you where you're from?
Oh, all the time.
Really? Even though you sound so English?
No, and actually, I don't mind it because I'm not white. You know, so my parents were born in India before partition, and then I was born in a place called Lahore in Pakistan. We moved, and my dad was educated in England, and he loved it. So we moved here when I was 3. So my entire life has been, you know, in London. Apart from, you know, I've worked in the US or whatever, but you know, my life has been in London.
Do you have any memories from Pakistan at all?
Only a couple of things, like our house had green gates, and so just 1 or 2 tiny memories. But my whole life has been lived here. But because I'm not the same colour as people who, you know, who are English, I'm asked that all the time if I meet someone new. And I don't mind
I find it a bit rude that people would ask that when you sound so English.
But I don't, because friends of mine who are English who will say, but you're English. And I'll say, no, but I don't look like you. So I'm not English because I wasn't born here. My parents weren't born here. So I don't mind it that people will say to me, where are you from? Because if you just look at me, my origins are not from England. So, and I will say, well, you know, originally I was born in Pakistan, but I've lived here since I was 3. So I don't mind it, because if I meet someone who, they might have an English accent, but you can tell by, you know, the look of them that their family originated somewhere else, I'm interested. It's nothing more than
just
interested.
out of interest. Yeah.
It's out of interest. So I never take it as anything negative. But what I'm not keen on, and I would never do myself, is I never meet someone and say, are you from such and such a place? It's better just to say to someone, where are you from? So no, I get that all the time with people that I haven't met before, but I understand it completely, and I do it myself, and I think it's interest. It's interest about, what's your background. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I suppose for me, when I first moved here, I didn't like when people asked me where I was from, just because every time people asked me where I was from, it was obviously because I sound a certain way. So every time I was like, oh, fuck, I'm messing up this English thing, aren't I?
But Brazil's such a cool country to come from.
Yeah, and like as the years passed, I know that people don't mean any harm from it. They just hear an accent and they're interested.
And it's exactly that. It's how you take it is.
Yeah, now I don't mind anymore, and I'm proud of where I'm from.
Yeah.
But I found it difficult because people treat you differently. I don't know if you, at least, like, I can only speak about my experience with, like, being clearly someone who was not born here.
Yeah.
You know, I don't feel as much now, but when I worked like in retail and things like that, people sort of treat you badly, like worse than they would treat other people working the same job when they think
your colleagues or people coming in?
People coming in and sort of treat you like less than. And people do that to people who are in service anyway, but it's a little bit worse, I think, when you have an accent, because people think you're here taking our jobs, and they think you're like uneducated and dumb. And sometimes people think just because that's not your first language, like you're a bit dumb because you sound different.
Yeah.
People treat you differently, and I don't feel it as much because I'm not put in those situations. Usually, you know, if I go somewhere, if I'm at a restaurant, I'm like the customer, and I work from home. I'm not put in situations like that. But sometimes, like at the GP, or you know, if I call somebody, it's rare nowadays, but sometimes I still experience it, how people treat you a bit like less than because they know you're an immigrant.
I understand that.
But now I don't care anymore. I'm like, it's on them, you know. I know that I'm contributing to the country. I get paid in dollars because most of my clients are in the US, and all the AdSense stuff is in the US. So I actually bring money into the country. I pay my taxes, I donate blood, I follow all the laws. So, you know I'm contributing to the country. And if people want to think badly of me just because I wasn't born here, then that's their own ignorance. It doesn't bother me anymore. But when I was 18 and I had just moved here, and people would say, some people I met actually said really rude things to me, like, you know, go back to your country sort of things. They were very open about it sometimes, and obviously at the time it was a bit traumatizing.
And you know what the sad thing is? When they say you're taking their jobs, there are enough jobs in the UK that you were not taking someone's job. A lot of people don't want to work, you know, in retail or do jobs that some other people might do who are here, and they need to find a job and they want to work. People would look at you and think you know, you're English until you speak. That's how you feel. Whereas for me, it's the opposite. If they just heard my voice, they would think I'm English. But if I don't speak, no one would know where, you know.
And do you ever get discriminated against?
I don't feel it, because I think, first of all, I know this sounds sexist, but I think people can be less racist against women than they are against men. So I've heard people say that to me, which is that, it's easier dealing with females, which is a sexist thing to say.
Really?
But I think, you know, there's an element of that. Now, this doesn't mean that I've never ever had someone, when I'm walking down the road, make a racist comment. I have, but it's been very, very rare.
Gosh, but it actually happened.
It has happened.
Oh my God.
But a long time ago.
That's
A long
awful.
time ago. So, you know, I think I said earlier that my English friends say to me, "Oh, but you're English." And I say, "No, I'm not, because I don't look English." So, if we go anywhere into a bar, say I'm with my English friends, people are going to know I'm somebody whose family doesn't come from England. I was saying this to a friend recently. I said, I wonder what it must feel like to live in a country where you were born, your parents were born, your grandparents were born, because I don't know what that feels like. And he said,
Beverly, no, bad girl.
Actually, this is good because Lola's quite calm. Come here, baby. Come here. Come on. Come to Mama.
I'm so sorry.
And he said, yes, but if you do that, those people are probably thinking, it's boring. I'm in the same place that everybody. And I thought, actually, that's quite, you know, a good way of looking at it. But I also remember, like, at one of your gigs where you had a lovely Lebanese singer who said, I'm going to sing a song. It's a poem my dad wrote about when he moved to the UK from the Lebanon, about how once you move to another country, you don't belong in the country you moved to because you're not from there, but also you don't belong to the country you came from because you've been away too long. And so you feel like you're in this medium world where you're not in one world or the other and you don't belong in either place.
That's
and
exactly.
Do you feel like that when you go back to Brazil?
Oh, 100%. That's exactly how I feel.
And actually, I went back to Pakistan where I was born. It's funny because I thought I'm going to go there and I'm going to feel like this is where I belong. And what I found that even if I feel like sometimes I don't belong in England, I certainly don't belong in Pakistan, that's for sure. So in a way, it's a positive experience because it came back and made me think, no, however much I might think, oh, I don't belong in England because I, wasn't born here, my family are not from here. I actually feel more at home here than I do anywhere else. I'm really grateful for my life in England. I've had a great education, access to so many opportunities. And that's one of the things that we're so lucky about living in the UK.
For sure.
We are blessed to have the opportunity to live in the UK. That's, that's what I think. Do you not feel that?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I feel really blessed about living in the UK, and also I feel what you were saying before about feeling like
you don't belong here.
You don't belong anywhere.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, or maybe we could rephrase it and could say we belong in more than one place.
Yes, and that's a positive way of looking at it.
Yeah, so much of who I am as a person, like in my just my growth and like the way I became myself and became an adult happened in the UK.
Yeah.
I think there were some like very important formative years of when like I was 18 in my early 20s.
Well, you probably matured here, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm half and half really, because when I'm there, I don't fully feel like I belong either. Like, and I feel not that I don't belong in a bad way, but I feel like a little bit foreign. Like, like I feel like I'm going abroad.
Yeah, on a holiday.
Yeah, and I don't know.
But you can speak the language. You can speak it, which is a huge thing.
Oh, but some people say now that I have an accent when I speak Portuguese, which is so annoying because now I can't speak either language properly. But I don't hear it when I speak Portuguese. I think I sound Brazilian. But some people on Instagram, like quite a few months ago, were saying, "Oh, please post a list of stories speaking Portuguese so we can hear you speak Portuguese." And some Brazilian followers.
So did you do that?
So I did it, and lots of people sent me messages saying, "Oh wow, you have such a cute accent." And I was like, accent?
But then you've been away for such a long time.
Yeah. And I asked my mom, like, do I have an accent now when I speak Portuguese? And she said, I don't think it's an accent. You just say some things a bit weird.
Yeah. And I think it's partly that, it's being away. Because when I went to Lahore a year before last for the first time in decades, in fact, the first time since I was 3, and I was in a taxi with my sister, and the taxi driver said in Urdu, which I speak fluently, he said, so I thought, he said, where are you from? And I said in Urdu, well, we're from here, Lahore. And he said, yes, but you haven't been here for a long time. And I realised then that even though I can speak the language fluently, it's the way I'm saying it. It's everybody knows that.
Yeah.
So do you feel like when you go to Carnival, do you feel like it's something that is part of your heritage from coming from Brazil to go to Carnival?
For sure, yeah. So I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, I would say most people who are Brazilian probably have done it at some point. They might not go to everyone.
Yeah, and everyone outside of Brazil wants to go to a carnival in Brazil. I do. I know I do.
Oh, you should come for sure. And maybe next year we can go together.
Yeah, we could do Rio.
Yeah,
because next year on my bucket list is Rio and Buenos Aires. I want to see the Argentine tango dance there. So yeah, but this is so lovely. So when are you going?
2 days from now.
2 days.
It's funny too when I'm there with Keith or anyone else, that came from an English-speaking country, and people see me speak English to them. Sometimes people just assume I'm also not from there. If I'm speaking
a tourist.
Tourist. If I'm speaking to somebody else. There was this one time. Oh, it was so funny. I was by the beach and like a beach bar with Keith, and someone came up to us to try to sell us something. There are a lot of like street vendors in Brazil. So this street vendor came up to us when we were by the beach and started speaking English. And I just answered him in Portuguese. And he said to me, "Oh, sorry, I didn't realize you were working."
How rude!
How rude!
What did you say?
I was just gobsmacked. I didn't say anything. It was just like, I didn't even say that I wasn't, I was just so...
I just on holiday.
I was just so surprised. But just because he was obviously older and English, and I was a Brazilian girl, and he was like, oh...
How rude!
How rude! I was just on holiday.
Well, you handled it very well.
And poor Keith didn't even know
what had been said.
Yeah, and so after the guy left, I was like, so you won't believe what this guy just said to me. All right, everybody. So that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. It's been lovely chatting. And I'm obviously now going to be away for a few weeks.
I will probably have some guests. So
don't love them as much as you love me, but
might have
I'm sure they'll be great.
But you'll be back soon.
Looking forward to it. Let's catch up soon.
Thank you so much
Enjoy
for coming.
Brazil. Enjoy the carnival. Can't wait to hear about it.
Enjoy Switzerland.
Thank
Send
you.
pictures. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Bye.
Bye.